Now, and government's budgetary allocation for the agricultural sector dropped from about 146 million cedis in 2009 to 128,000 cedis in 2012. According to a research by Imani Ghana, fertilizer subsidies to the sector also dropped from the projected 10% to 2.4% over the same period.
Presenting the findings to the media in Accra, Imani Ghana criticized government for reducing investment into the agricultural sector.
And so we've looked at the health sector. Some interesting things came up concerning programs like the establishment of chip compounds. The National Health Insurance equally came up. We looked at the education sector where, besides what we analyzed on a macro level for the budgetary allocations and attending expenditure, we looked at the programs in terms of capitation grant and the impact that has had socially and economically on the beneficiaries.
Imani Ghana praised the donor community for contributing over 286 million cedis towards the growth of the sector during the period covered by the research in the face of dwindling government support. Touching on the transport sector, the research found out that government allocation dropped from about 18 million cedis to a little over 6 million cedis over the same period. However, on oil and gas, the findings showed that government investment slightly increased to about 8 million cedis from 6 million during the same 3 years period. On water and sanitation, the findings identified that over 200 million cedis, which was allocated in 2009, the sector had not received any increment. On education, Imani chastised the Ministry of Education for exceeding its budget by about 25% to only pay personnel emolument. The findings highlighted increased donor support in social protection as well as gender and children issues. It identified about 67% of households have benefited from the LEAP program. However, in the health sector, the findings criticized the ministry for missing its target after spending 5.6 billion cedis. We asked Imani whether excessive borrowing could affect the economy.
Borrowing itself is not a bad thing, but what you use the borrowed money for, so that at least when it comes to productivity, you add value to the economy. If that is not happening, then borrowing becomes a problem, because you're a country that predominantly doesn't generate sufficient domestic revenue for servicing these debts. And the only way you can do that is when you're growing the economy and people are doing business, and you can tax them, increase the domestic revenue to be able to serve the debt service cost. But if that is not happening, then it raises a lot of concerns.
In other news, the Ghana Shippers Authority has dismissed claims that the Advanced Shipment Information (ASHI) has been suspended indefinitely. The authority says the implementation has only been rescheduled to April 2 to allow for further consultation with other stakeholders in the maritime industry. The earlier date for the implementation of the Advanced Shipment Information (ASHI) was the 1st of March 2015. This was met with some opposition from businesses involved in importing and exporting. Some of them planned a demonstration against government and Shippers Authority if it goes ahead to implement the ASHI. According to the importers and exporters, they explained that it would make the process of clearing goods more cumbersome at the country's ports. The implementation was then suspended following the directive from the Transport Minister Jifa Ativo for the Shippers Authority to further explain the ASHI to stakeholders. At a media encounter with the Shippers Authority, it emerged that the implementation had only been postponed.
We have received information in the media to the effect that ASHI has been suspended indefinitely. We are, however, yet to receive official communication to that effect. However, as part of the directive that was issued by the Honorable Minister of Transport, the implementation date of ASHI was to be shifted to the 2nd of April. And consequently, the authority was requested, in fact, directed, to carry out engagements and ensure that we provide further clarification on the subject of ASHI to all stakeholders and other interested persons.
The authority also outlined the benefits importers and exporters stand to gain if ASHI is implemented. To the telecoms industry now, and Airtel Ghana and Sahel Sahara Bank have signed an MOU to bring convenience, accessibility and speed in the provision of business solutions to customers. The relationship is expected to mutually benefit the two companies.
The MOU is a consolidation of a mutually beneficial cooperation between Airtel Ghana and Sahel Sahara Bank. The understanding combines the distribution capabilities of both companies to offer pioneering services to its clients, employees and stakeholders.
This value chain proposition emphasis on corporate business support, commercial banking support and retail banking support, not only in Ghana, but it is also aimed to be replicated in all the countries where BC Ghana and Airtel business are represented in Africa.
The managing director of Airtel Ghana, Lucy Quist, said financial support, the initiation of joint corporate social responsibilities and the provision of premium services are among some of the benefits that the two companies will derive from the partnership.
With our 3.75G network, you know that the services we're offering together in this partnership will ride on a very high-speed network. This MOU is about customers. It is about business customers who will have better access to their financial needs through our partner bank, and equally will have great mobile telecommunication services through our network.
Both parties say they are fully committed to supporting each other through this partnership.